Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, let's get into a single storyline. Ooh, it is Sunday. We literally didn't do a great shuffle, but these cards came out anyway, so let's keep them. Let's go with it. We have an Eight of Wands, we have a Three of Cups, and we have a Ten of Cups. Hi, Denisa. Good to see you, babe. We've got communication, we've got possibly a blind date, and we've got possibly a really nice outcome. Are we done with this story? Was this a three-card story? You notice that it's like we've got all these birds flying, so it looks like a big old kerfuffle, right? Or it looks like a group event, and then I don't know if two people are introduced to each other by like a mutual friend. This could be a matchmaking kind of, great. It's fun. It's nice. And everybody walks away saying, God, what a great time I had. That was truly one of the best, exchanges I've had in a really long time. Hi, Manisha. Shout out to you in Atlanta, beauty. It's just really nice to see Three of Sacred Circles. Okay. Hang on now. We could have a relationship that starts real fast. Two people may be introduced at a party or some other social gathering, but then they may decide to go home together. They may, hey, let me drop you off. We've had 3 hours of continual conversation, even though we just met. We both kind of feel like we're a little bit vetted. So maybe we can expedite things because this was such a lovely time. You want to take me to my castle, to my casa, to my my abode? You want to take me to my hut, my yurt? And it's like, yeah, sure, I'll give you a ride home. It almost feels like two people meet and they pretty much end up being glued together a little bit. I I don't see these two going home alone. This looks like a relationship that could begin very suddenly. I didn't know I would meet them. I came alone. I left with another person that came alone, right? Two hermits had to be brought together, had to meet each other. And it's like, yeah, I came by myself. Oh, I came by myself too. But we don't need to leave by ourselves, do we? Hang on, let's backtrack for just a second because, man, we are off to like a sprint in this story. Let's ask about that Three of Cups. How is it that these two are getting like introduced? Ace of Sacred Circles. It is something very different. It's a different approach. So I definitely feel like somebody might have either agreed to go to a party specifically because they're like, hey, listen, I've wanted you to meet my cousin. Cousin's going to be in town. Or, hey, I've got a friend. I really think you should come over, whatever, to Monday Night Football or, barbecue or something because I really want you to meet this person. I could somehow you two seem like, although you've never met, you should have because you're very similar. But if I don't invite you to this, you're never going to get a chance to meet. And I really think you need to do something different. Let me introduce you to somebody. The Ace of Sacred Circles says, fine, I'll do it different. If what I've been doing hasn't worked, maybe I will let somebody set me up. Maybe it doesn't feel like a blind date. It feels like a group comfortable gathering. But let's be honest, there's a reason somebody wants another person to be there because they want to introduce them. Nine of Wands. I'm going to say we have a very well meaning, possibly masculine, who looks swell in purple. That's the host of this event. This could be like some older individual or some well meaning boss, or maybe this is just the universe is working through a third individual who's inviting these two to a party. But it's like they're saying, look, I know you're a great person, and I also know you got wounded and you've been healing, but at some point, like whomever this, let's say the universe or the boss, can see it's hard when you've been wounded and you've been healing. That last step between like, okay, I am pretty much healed, but I don't know how to begin dating again. That's where it feels like there's this little helpful push saying, if I don't invite you to this event, and tell you, I'm going to introduce you to this person. You could come to the event, but you'll never walk over and say hi to them on your own. I'm going to have to be upfront and tell the two of you, hi, I wanted you two to meet because you two are both wonderful people. Here's a topic, engage, and then walk off. It feels like there's this well meaning person that needs to tell two other people, you got to meet this person. Just for me, talk for 5 minutes. It almost feels like they have to be pushed together, smooshed together. I'm not saying that they're reluctant, like, I don't want to meet you. I'm saying they do. They have to be lassoed. And maybe there's going to be one of those games at this party, like where you have to not use your hands, but you have like a balloon squished between each other's necks, and you can't touch the balloon, but you have to like roll it, from one body to the next or something. It just feels like these two are going to be wound together somehow. But it's really that they have to be requested or asked or even demanded that you two have to work together for a few minutes and get to know each other. Do it from me. Let me invite you both to my barbecue, and I'm going to tell you both, you need to meet each other. You need to talk for about 5 minutes each of you. And then if you don't like each other, I'll accept it, and I won't ever try to put you two together again. But it feels like kind of a bossy, well-meaning friend is really saying, come on, you two. I really think you need to talk. Two of Sacred Circles, whoever, they amen for this bossy friend, because this bossy friend kind of is their magic matchmaker. And I have to say, in this storyline, these two never would have approached each other. Even if they were at the same party, they wouldn't have. Maybe they're both kind of quiet souls. I mean, we saw them as hermits. We saw them as a 9 of Wands. Yeah, Death card. This is also like, maybe this is going to be at a Halloween party, since it's got to still happen before the end of this year. Now, granted, we're going into holiday season, right? So there could be multiple events, but this feels like it's coming right up. I don't know if somebody's going to be dressed up as a bear, but that would be a pretty cute costume. Maybe somebody else is going to be, we've got the hawk here. I don't know if somebody's going to have wings on and the other person's going to be like a grizzly bear or a teddy bear or something. I'm actually picturing really cute costumes right now. But it does feel like these two have to meet at an event where they will be intentionally told, you guys got to talk. You just got to try this. Try getting to know each other for a split second here. I think you two will have a lot in common. Maybe not, but give it a whirl. And I think that these two are open to it because they're like, maybe this well-meaning third-party matchmaker is right. If what we've been doing hasn't worked, we haven't met the right people, just going out and choosing our dates ourselves out of the general population. Maybe both of them have a tendency to kind of get sucked in by the wrong people. And like, okay, for an example, let's just say, actually, no, I won't give examples. Let's let their stories pop out. Let me just ask real quickly. And we're going to say feminine and masculine just because of what we saw on this particular card. What was the feminine's backstory? What has it been for her? We have an 8 of Swords in the reverse. We have the Magician upright. She seems to have been in an energy, especially recently, where it's like, okay, I finally am done. I don't want to get caught up anymore with people that are kind of mysterious or they don't know what they want. And then I get hooked on them, stuck waiting for them to decide what they want. I'm not stuck on anybody anymore. In the past, I did that, and now I've just been trying to like focus on how do I manifest getting what I want instead of keep manifesting people that don't know what they want. Almost like she's saying low key, maybe I didn't know what I wanted before, so maybe I need to work on that so that I attract somebody who knows what they want. That could have been her lesson. That could have been what her past has been like. What about for our masculine? What has his past been like? Oh boy. Okay, so we have Ace of Pentacles, and it's actually sideways, and then we have the Judgment card in the deficit or the negative position. He had on again, off again with somebody that he knew he shouldn't have even been with. So both of them had some problems, right? Both of them had their problems in the past with, how they handled relationships, how things went for them. It's nice to see that both of them, now we understand why like a kind third party has said, I need to assist. I'm not saying these two can't make good decisions. I'm just saying that each one of them, certainly since they each had a major arcana, right? She had the magician, he had the judgment card. They both learned a pretty big lesson about he needs to not keep taking X's yo-yoing back and forth. She needs to not manifest people that don't know what they want, but she herself needs to manifest what she wants. That's awesome. If that's why we see them as like hermits, because they've been on that deep, thoughtful, train contemplating, why am I single? What happened with past relationships? And they've come to these conclusions about themselves. That's awesome. Of course, they're ready to meet somebody, but I don't know that they've met anyone with this new updated version of their lessons that they've learned. And that's where we have help from this matchmaker. Universe, can I just look at the matchmaker for just a second? Because I kind of feel like they must be an important Six of Wands, Six of Cups. Okay, they definitely could be a mutual friend. They could be somebody who's like, I do love putting great people together, but that's the whole thing. We're all soulmates. I know that these two are great people. So he could have been friends with each of them separately. It does look like it's a masculine matchmaker, by the way, but it just looks like somebody who is like, they love to see good people get good things. What an awesome character. What an awesome soul. It feels like they are happy and they want other people to be happy, especially friends, especially people that they care about. This is a very divine soul group mate, which is just so nice to see. It's beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and take a look and just finish this off by saying, if these two meet, can we see anything else about this party or this gathering? Like, is this something to do with Halloween or what? Page of Swords, Temperance. It could actually be, and we have music. We have, definitely a party. Somebody could be DJing, playing some music, and it's like, yes, but I also like to peel away and go into like a more quiet space. Remember, these two started out in Hermit's energy. Maybe neither one of them are like, intense party goers, but they'll show up, but the noise can get overwhelming and they both kind of tend to like to pull back. Or this could even be a situation, I don't know, that we have the duality here where there's noise, there's music, there's party, and then there's total peace. So I wouldn't say that this is like a seminar or something. This feels more like a house party to me that these two are being invited to. It could be an outdoorsy thing with all the kids out here. I know it's a lemonade stand, but I keep getting trick-or-treating. This really feels more like a situation where two people might meet and enjoy each other's company at a party, and but then there's also an opportunity to step back and just spend a little time together getting to know each other. So can we see, this obviously goes well. What are their first impressions of each other? Okay, we got two cards out right away. The Chariot and the Six of Cups. Boy, they know right away, matchmaker, you did a good job. You said, we would like each other, we like each other. I feel comfortable with this person. I feel like they're a soulmate. Yeah, I feel comfortable with him. I feel like I want to gravitate right toward him. Okay, so this is fantastic. These two have really like faced each other and seen, I could picture us being really comfortable. We see why you wanted us to meet. So is that how they end up going home together? Is that how they end up going home together? 10 of Cups, 7 of Cups, 6 of Wands sideways. It's not a premeditated thing. If anything, it could just be that they talk until morning. It could just be they're having such a good time. Neither one realized what happened. Time gets away from them. Party's ending. Who's gone home with who? Oh, someone took my car. I forgot I loaned it to them because they had to leave early all of a sudden. So it could even be awkward, like, oh, I don't mean to ask you to take me home, but now, like, that just, it seems like the stars are aligning for these two. Literally, it seems like these two were supposed to be able to stay in each other's company, and this feels a little forced at first and then so organic. This feels so nice. Four of Swords, the Tower in the reverse. This is where their nervousness comes back. This is where a little bit of their shyness comes back in. They're doing great. They're talking. Everything's great. But she either doesn't want to ask for a ride home. He doesn't want to be too, forceful. Both of them might be just a little bit shy. Like, should I ask them in? Should I not? But it looked like these two wind up staying together. Let me see. Page of Cups, Two of Pentacles in the reverse. I think that they find their comfort zone again with each other. They get over that awkwardness. Maybe they both say, look, I'm sorry, I haven't been around anybody. It was fine at the party because it was a party atmosphere, and then the talking was so easy. But then to move from a friend's house to it's time to leave, and then we get awkward again. It feels like there's awkward apologies about awkwardness. And this makes so much sense why they needed somebody to first get the ball rolling for them, because we can see how their tendency is to revert back to oh God, I don't know what to say. Go back to the hermit energy, even though they were just having a great time together. So it feels like these two, they're not judging each other for being a little uncomfortable, losing confidence. This is the ebb and flow of two people that maybe haven't practiced dating in a while, is what it says to me. They just haven't practiced dating in a while, and they don't have game, so to speak. And you know what? That's also what helps them both feel comfortable again. Oh, thank God. You don't have game either. You don't expect me to be a sex kitten or have this incredible charisma. These characters are not James Bond characters. They're not characters from a movie that always have all the right words to say. This is two genuinely awesome people who haven't dated in a while. They're absolute catches, but they're very real. They're not people that like to play games. They're not people that have these perfect one-liners. They don't have the gift of, glib conversation. They're very, I would say they're very wholesome, very real. And they don't want to mess up what starts out as a good thing, but they also are a little awkward about, how to proceed. It's sweet though, because that alone gets them back on track. They feel so much more comfortable. Now it's okay, then let me make it a little more awkward by inviting you in. That, it may be, she says, I'm not going to look at you when I say this because I'll blush, but I'll invite you. You want to come in and we can keep talking or whatever. It just seems like these two either talk all night or more, but it's the two of them wind up in their own little universe, their own little hut together. And it's really nice to see this. And then things speed up and get spicy once they get into their comfort zone. Everything about these characters seems so likable, relatable. We're cheering for these characters. We're seeing them, navigate wobbly little wings flying, baby birds that are learning to fly. Well, again, I guess I should say, but they seem to be so nice. I really enjoyed these characters. All right, you guys, thanks for being here. Hi, V. Hi, RS. Alicia, great to catch you. That's awesome. Anisha, Alicia, how are you, babe? Sparkle, RT, Denisa, Dancing Moon, Molly, Slay Princess, Nikki. Thanks again, Manisha K and Denisa. Lots of love, you guys. I'll see you again shortly. Bye.